Well, if you've been following the SEC versus Ripple case for some time now, the most recent news that just came out suggests that the SEC's case is really falling apart. At least that's what their actions are telling us. An outside attorney who's been following this case and is very active on the XRP community on Twitter just gave his thoughts on why the SEC just asked for a 60-day extension for the remainder of the discovery period. So I'm going to talk about what this means for this case, what that could mean for a possible settlement, and what other piece of news just came out that might already show that they're actually working on settlements. Now that's a little bit of speculation, but I'm going to talk about why not just myself, but many other people that cover this story are now thinking settlement is closer than it's ever been. In other crypto news, Coinbase is now ramping up to add Dogecoin to its offerings. I know you guys are smart enough not to invest into Dogecoin, but I do know people that are day trading it. So just a little nugget for all you meme coin gambling degenerates, like myself. Also, one of the world's largest CPA firms just came out and announced that the French central bank has actually been exploring the use of Ripple and XRP as its bridge currency. And it seems like every time I give an update, there's another country that's exploring the use of XRP as a bridge currency. But getting to the heart of this video, we're going to talk about the XRP and why we think there is a possible settlement coming. Ripple sent its own motion to the SEC to ask them to send out a document to 16 different countries. So we're going to talk about what that actually means, if it does anything for the case against the SEC, or is it actually something that is ramping up to an actual settlement. Also have an XRP price prediction from somebody in the mainstream media. I'm going to talk about why they think XRP is going double digits. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. On this channel we are covering the SEC versus Ripple, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any of those topics interest you, make sure you're subscribed, especially if you're new to this channel. Go ahead, click the subscribe button, and don't forget to tap the bell notification icon. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. And if you're feeling really generous, I'd greatly appreciate it if you click the thumbs up button. Really helps out with a YouTube channel like this. Tells YouTube to show this video to other newer audiences. So if you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, well, let's jump into it. So the SEC just filed a motion today asking for an extension, and they did it after Judge Netburn denied the SEC's motion to compel Ripple to produce some legal documents that they had from 2012, and she did it the Sunday before Memorial Day. Who knows why she did it then, but could be working late into the weekend and wanted to get this out there. In any case, it was yet again found in Ripple's favor. So the SEC came back, and using this new lawyer that they brought in from Chicago about a month ago to work on this case, he is the one that actually drafted the letter to the judge asking for an extension. Now, there's an outside attorney, James Filan, who's been following this case. If you're active in the XRP Ripple community, you probably know who he is. But he gave his thoughts on why he thinks that the SEC was actually writing this letter. And without going into all the details of his tweets, he basically said that they filed this lawsuit before they actually had done their proper investigation, or before their investigation was actually complete. Which, of course, if you've been following this case, you'll know that, yeah, that's the case, because Jay Clayton filed this on his last day before he resigned as the head of the SEC. Now, if it doesn't get any shadier than that, and as James Filan pointed out, the SEC has had 2.5 years to investigate using all of their resources into this actual case. And not only that, we're now 6 months into this actual case, and they're still asking for more time and discovery. If that doesn't say that they don't have enough evidence and that their case isn't actually strong enough to win, then I don't know what does. And that is going to back up this next point in this video. And that is that Ripple filed its own motion to the SEC. And that was a motion to send out a document to 16 different entities, different foreign entities, looking for information on, get this, sales of XRP to non-US citizens. Well, if you're active on the Twitter community, you'll know another attorney that is following this case, Jeremy Hogan. Now, he was pointing out why this particular motion was filed. He said the first couple of issues in this case, number one, is XRP a security? That's like a yes or a no. The other one, the fair notice, that's kind of a yes or a no. And this third part of the case, which is jurisdiction, meaning does the SEC actually have jurisdiction to penalize Ripple for sales of something to non-US nationals on foreign soil? He said something like this usually just ends up being about damages. And what does damages have to do with it? Well, somebody else replied and said, is that so they can basically tally up a settlement total? And Jeremy responded with, I didn't say it, but it's exactly what I was thinking while I was reading it. So I am not an attorney, I'm not a financial expert, but at this point, I am basically reading the narratives. And if you've been watching my channel for a couple of months now, you have to look at the narratives when you're looking at A, the crypto space, and B, you're looking at this story. Now, of course, some of it's going to involve speculation because really all of us on the outside don't know exactly what's going on. But when you follow these stories and you see the motion after motion after motion, and you see the judge siding on Ripple's side time after time after time, you can see that the judge is really after facts and just really doesn't seem to be in the mood for any game playing. Well, if you look at that's kind of what the SEC has been doing this entire time is kind of game playing. And so them asking for an extension to try and extend this discovery period, really why? If you've had a 2.5-year investigation, you shouldn't need that. And just because all of the motions that the judge has denied for you, you should have still had this stuff lined up from the get-go. And I also saw on Twitter, somebody asked the question, well, why would the SEC ask for an extension and wanting to do more discovery if they're just going to go ahead and try to work out a settlement on the back end? Well, that's because, well, from what I read on a lot of these types of cases, the SEC has kind of people working on settlements in the background because actually about 90% of the cases that the SEC takes on result in a settlement and don't actually make it to trial. Now, what they do is there's people working on a settlement on the back end. Meanwhile, the whole other group of attorneys are working on the prosecution side. Now, because of both sides, they don't actually know if it's going to get to trial and what may actually happen. So the prosecution is pushing through just like they would even if there was no settlement, even as a possibility. So that's why the prosecution end of things is pushing forward, but that's why it's looking like on the other side, why else would Ripple be looking for information on sales of XRP to non-US nationals on foreign soil unless it was about damages? And why would you be looking for amounts and damages possibly to use within a settlement? And as an outside price prediction, which I see on a daily basis from many crypto sites, people are now starting to see this narrative shape up with Ripple, with XRP, that a settlement is looking like it's more and more on their side. Now, of course, a lot of these price predictions depend on Bitcoin. I am one who firmly believes that this whole crypto space, XRP included, really depends on what Bitcoin does, at least in this market cycle. A decoupling will happen in the future, whether it's the next market cycle or 2 market cycles from now, who really knows? But at this point, everything is still dependent on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up 5%, yes, some of the altcoins may go up 2% and some go up 15%. So there is a little bit of a decoupling, but by and large, it still follows the same trend. And so if nothing happens with Bitcoin, some of the technical aspects and technical traders that I watch pretty much on a daily basis are speculating that if Ripple gets clear of this SEC case, some of them are now predicting a $7 to $13 price for XRP by the end of this year. Now, there's a lot of people speculating about the price of Bitcoin, that it's either going to tank down to 18,000 or it's going to absolutely explode into the $200,000 to $300,000 range. This is a really interesting crypto space that we're in right now, where it seems like the more likelihood is that one of those 2 scenarios happen, and it's even more likely to happen than it just kind of staying in the middle where it is now. But that's where we are. So if you want to follow along with all these developments, especially this SEC versus Ripple case and other crypto news, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And once again, I'd really appreciate it. A big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.